So if you have a new video idea, like a story you want to tell to your audience, but now you're torn, okay, it's a really good story, but should it be in a short form video format or a long form YouTube video? And I understand this frustration because both of these paths requires a tremendous amount of work. And here's the funny thing. I just did a live stream today for my school community. I was teaching them about how to script my videos. And one of the guys asked me in the chat, how do you determine if a video should be a long form or short form video? And I was like, that's such a great question, which is why I'm making this video right now to help answer more people. I had the same question. I'm in another mentorship program where I'm learning from some guy who's a couple of steps ahead of me. I asked this very question and all of them said something very vague. Like they can't really answer me like, oh, this should be a long form or this should be a short form. So here's the truth about long form versus short form. Long form videos is what you actually need to do in an ideal world. All you got to do is just long form, because the logic is you can just be yourself. And if somebody watches your 10-minute video, chances are they're going to like you and watch more videos and maybe enter your funnel, download your email, that kind of stuff is very, very high. But the downside is it's very hard to grow long form videos, especially if you're new. Now, short form videos is very easy to do. Well, actually, it's not easy. It's still a lot of work, but short form video is a lot easier to whip out compared to a long form, which requires a lot more stuff that you have to do. Short form video is very quick to do. It's very laid back. You can just whip out your phone and walk and talk if you want. It's gonna get views. But here's the downside. It's very hard to convert short form video audience to enter your funnel or buy whatever it is you're trying to sell. It's harder compared to long form. They bought into you. They like you already. Short form, not in the mental state to do that, right? They're not in the mental state to buy anything. They're probably just chilling on their bed before going to bed. They're on the toilet. So they're not in the state of mind to better themselves. So that's the cons. Both of these make sense and both of these paths are totally valid depending on what you're trying to achieve. What should I do, right? If I have a great video idea, should this be long form or short form? The answer is, in an ideal world, you want to do long form videos because of the things I just mentioned. If people watch one 10-minute video, they're going to watch more, and it's easier to convert them into leads because they download a free lead magnet, and easier to become a client, easier to become a customer because the trust is already there. They already watched 10 minutes of you talking on camera, right? They already made a decision. So if you ask any big creators, YouTuber, they all say, oh, just do a long form. Don't waste your time with shorts. But if you're starting out like me, I originally went with the guru advice of just doing long form. But after doing that for a couple of years, I realized it's very hard to grow on YouTube, long form, which prompted me to experiment with shorts. The same shorts that you do, the short vertical video, can be posted on YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, Threads, X, Pinterest, LinkedIn. Is just more valid in a lot of places. But if you do long form YouTube videos, chances are you can just be on YouTube, right? If you create a short form vertical video, you can use a tool. Let me show you. It's called Metricool. So this is kind of what it looks like. I can tell this tool to post the same video on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube. So I don't have to do this manually. I could just use this tool to automatically publish this everywhere to make my life a lot easier, right? So this is a pretty cool tool. It's called Metricool. I'm going to leave the link down below. So I'm going to show you something. I think you should start with short form videos, because you need to stop teaching people stuff. This ChatGPT teaching videos are just dead on arrival. People want to connect with stories from other human beings. So you want to tell people like, what have you overcome? What made it difficult? What was the lesson learned? So I had a bunch of lessons. I had a lot of things that I overcome and a bunch of lessons, right? So each one of those lessons became one story. So then I had the same question. Okay, should this be a long form or a short form? So I didn't really put much thought into it, but at the time I thought, okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stories. If I were to make a short video of these 6 stories, I can whip it out in like a day, no problem. But if I were to make 6 of these long form, it's going to take me a couple of weeks. Just the sheer amount of effort that needs to make a long form video, right? So I posted this using that Metricool tool. I posted it on Instagram and one of the videos blew up. So you can look at my average is probably 1,000 or less than 1,000 views. This is before storytelling, really bad views. Then I started to take it a little bit more seriously, and the views just increased. Up until this one right here was 63,000 views. Now let's break this down. This video is just a storytelling video. I'm not teaching anything in here. It was a hero journey, like how I went from an engineer to running my own business. I told people how I got laid off and that kind of stuff. So to me, as a creator, the audience is resonating with this particular story. This story is doing well, right? And if you look at, there's 4,000 likes, almost 1,000 people bookmark this, and everybody is expressing that they feel the same way as me. They're tired of the job. They find me inspiring, that I actually do something. And that's how you get fans, right? So now this validates me. You know what? The audience like this story. So maybe I should explore this in a long form YouTube format. But here's the thing. If I were to make 7 of these videos on long form, it was going to take me weeks to publish them and a couple of weeks to months more to get feedback, because the YouTube algorithm is kind of slow for new creators, right? I don't have an audience yet. So by doing short form, it pushes it out immediately and I get immediate feedback. Within a couple of days, I know that this thing hits. Right? Now I can go to YouTube. What was this video about? How I went from engineer to running my own business. Okay. So let's just say I go to YouTube and I say I went from engineer to running my own business. And let's see what pops up. Become an entrepreneur. This guy is exactly what I've been doing and he's only get 1.7k views. There's pretty much not many things about this topic. So maybe this is an indication that, okay, even though that story is good, I still want to make the video, but I shouldn't angle it in a way of how I went from engineer to running my own business. I need to package it in a way that it resonates more with a wider people. So I could be how I quit my job to run my own business. If you're thinking about quitting your job, quit your job with 0 risk to start a business. This angle seems to be doing better than how I quit my engineering job. Does that make sense? So what's the lesson here? Long form versus short form. In an ideal world, if you already have an audience, you only want to do long form. It's the best return of your investment, time and money. However, if you're starting out, long form is still the bread and butter, but it takes a long time to make a long form video. Then once you finally get it uploaded, it's going to take a couple of weeks, a couple of months to finally the algorithm know who to push it out to. So it just takes so long to get feedback. So why don't you start storytelling videos, short form vertical videos, and don't just post it on YouTube Shorts. Use a special tool like me, like Metricool, post it everywhere. Because sometimes some videos, like I just showed you here, this video did well on TikTok for some reason, but the very same on Instagram did not perform well at all, 337. So why are you limiting yourself to one thing, right? So let's take a look at my YouTube studio here. And if you go into content and the shorts, how are they doing? That same story did well, 4,000 on shorts, which is exceeding my typical short performance. So yeah, maybe I should do a long form out of this. But you see the train of thought. Use short form vertical videos, post it everywhere and see what sticks so you can test your video ideas faster, get feedback fast. And whatever perform, that's going to be your long form video. But don't just do the same thing. You need to figure out how to package it in long form. All right. So I hope that's been helpful. If you're torn between short form, long form, which one should I do? I just gave you the answer. Now you know short form versus long form. But I'm pretty sure a lot of you don't really know how the YouTube algorithm works in 2026 and beyond. If you want to know how, watch this video right here.